Hello, humans and monsters and other creatures. Savage is here, coming back with part Who Cares of What If Deku Had Air Cannon. And now, enough with the dovey-lubby little hero shit in the last couple of videos, and let's get a little bit darker. So, where we last left off, Izuku has gone an absolute rampage in the city after losing control over himself, going as a crazy man, throwing air cannons everywhere that he could possibly see, and using his new ability that he called it Air Hell. And in the end, All Might seeing that enough is enough and seeing that it's better to put Izuku down before he kill even more people, he decided to go on throwing a punch into his face, maybe, to knock him off or at least to injuring him a lot. But before he managed to do that, a portal just teleporting Izuku away, and All Might being left there panicking, seeing the smile that was on Izuku's face, that crimson electricity, that power. Those eyes, it's all only reminding him with his arch nemesis, all for one. But before we get right into it, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's get right into it. As right now we cut into a dark room, with Izuku sleeping right now on a bed, and above him standing the shadow or the figure of All for One with the Dr. Ujiko that is right now just doing some counts and just seeing the information that he got from whatever has happened in the city. As after that, Dr. Ujiko said, "It's really great, Master. The information about his body is so fascinating. The quirk air cannon is so suitable for him that he got it into another level. But the thing that I cannot understand is the crimson electricity, your electricity. He's supposed to only have your body type that's able to take as many quirks as possible and to use them into their full extent. But for his crimson electricity, I really doesn't know anything about it. From what I have right now, it seems like whatever that crimson electricity were doing to him, it looks like that it buffed his power, but on the cost of his sanity." As after that, immediately All for One just looking on Izuku, Dr. Ujiko said, "Master, are you listening to me?" As after that, All for One just putting his hand on his son's head, as he said, "I would never ask for something better than you. What a fascinating power and such a great abilities. Smart, strong, durable, and over all of that, hate heroes. Looks like I didn't need to teach him how to use his powers. Looks like that he already have learned that when combining the pain with the joy, you can become truly free." As after that, Dr. Ujiko said, "What should I do, Master? Should I do anything to his body or maybe something else?" As after that, All for One said, "Not at all, Doctor. He have enough power, but do you know what day is it?" As after that, Dr. Ujiko said, "What about it? What's this day?" As after that, All for One said, "Today is the day of his birthday, and I think it's time for me to give him his gift." As after that, All for One putting his hand on his face, and a crimson lightning coming out of his arm into Izuku's face, but before he managed to do anything, Izuku suddenly jumped from the bed and throwing an air cannon directly into the body of All for One, throwing him into the opposite side of the room. As Dr. Ujiko looking on Izuku, he only see the same smile on his face, and the electricity just, shining through his body, as he just looking back into the Dr. Ujiko with that grin on his face as he was about to go at him. But before he managed to do that, suddenly a black tentacles immediately stab into his body, and Izuku being falling onto the ground unconscious again. As after that, Dr. Ujiko looking back on All for One, he see him standing up with some black tentacles coming out of his fingers. As Dr. Ujiko rushing into his master and said, "Master, are you okay?" As after that, All for One start, laughing a little bit, saying, "That attack has really hurted me a lot. He's so strong, very strong, but I think I'll have to close some of his abilities for now." As he just, using his quirk activation, quirk, of course, this black tentacles that coming out of his fingers, instead of activating, forcibly activating Izuku quirk, he forcibly deactivated and built some sort of a barriers for some of his abilities. You can say that he, lowered his power. As after that, he just retrieved his tentacles, and Dr. Ujiko said, "What should I do now, master? Besides healing you, of course." "Well, Dr. Ujiko, I think that it's better for him to, throw him into his old hideout. Throw him in the hideout of the League of Villains. Give him some information about the death of his families and the one that killed them. And after that, let him leave." "What, master? We are gonna just let him leave like that?" "Of course. I doesn't have anything to teach him beside giving him his birthday gift, so he can leave maybe a couple of days later, 2 weeks, maybe another month, and then we can get him back. But for now, let him play, let him enjoy himself, and let All Might be scared of him." As after that, All For One just leave the room, and Dr. Ujiko, listening to whatever, of course, All For One taught him, he, made Izuku go into the other room inside the hideout of the League of Villains, or in the bar, one of the rooms, in the back of the bar or something like that. As we cut into the next day, Izuku finally waking up as he jumping from his bed and said, "What happened?" As after that, he hear a sound from, his side saying, "Don't worry, kid, sheesh, calm down a little bit." As Izuku looking on his, left side, he see only Gren. As Izuku said, "Gren, what do you want? Why am I in this bed? And why is I have a lot of bandages on my body?" As Izuku starts remembering some things and said, "Wait, the fight with Hawks, the city, All Might, what happened there?" As after that, Gren said, "What happened there? I was about to ask you the same question, Why don't you see by yourself?" As he just turning the television on inside the room into Izuku. As Izuku look inside the television, he only see that the people has already know himself, or the transporter saying, "Last night there was a fight between heroes and villains, or just one villain that was enough to kill thousands of people and lots of heroes. We recognize this villain as the kid Izuku Midoriya that disappeared a couple of weeks ago after the death of his mother Inko Midoriya and his father Hisashi Midoriya. We doesn't have a lot of information about him other than him being such a dangerous villain. If anyone saw him, a kid with white hair and red eyes, please call the police immediately or talk with any close hero by your side, because this kid is no joke." As after that, Izuku just seeing some footage of his fight and seeing the grin on his face, as Izuku said, "What? What's happened to me?" As Grin said, "Man, you really are such an inspiring villain, A lot of villains has been inspired by you." As Izuku said, "Inspired by me?" As immediately Grin said, "Yup, a lot. Last night I got about 2,000 calls from a lot of different villains that know that I was dealing with you from a couple of days before, so they were asking me to, meet you or something like that." As Izuku said, "Whatever. What about Hawks?" As after that, Grin said, "Don't worry about him. You already done your side of the deal. Now, here's your informations." As after that, Izuku looking, he see in the hand of course, Grin, like a CD device. As after that, Izuku said, "A CD? What should I do with this?" As Grin said, "What? Did you never dealt with CDs before? All the information that you need, we're gonna find it on this. But if you want another copy, I have a USB right here." As after that, Izuku said, "I rather the USB. Thank you." As after that, Grin said, "Alright. Maybe you should rest a little bit." And after that, but immediately Izuku standing up, taking his t-shirt and put it on. And after that, taking his, villain outfit and putting a hoodie on his head. As Gren said, "Hey, don't you think this is better for you to just lay down a little bit and rest?" As Izuku said, "I need to find the one that killed my family. I doesn't care if I will die to achieve that goal." As after that, Gren said, "Well, do whatever you want, but Maybe you should say goodbye to the people in the bar, especially Toga. She really want to, meet you again." As Izuku said, Whatever, he doesn't care for her." As after that, Gurren said, "Well, see you around, kid, and if you ever needed any information or if you ever, wanted a job, always call me. You're gonna find my number on your phone." As Izuku said, "Yeah, whatever. Thanks, Gren." And after that, Izuku left the room and going into the bar as he meet there with Shigaraki, of course Dabi, Toga, and also Mr. Compress, Mustard, Muscular, Moonfish. And Izuku only see all of these people as immediately Shigaraki said, well, looks like the hero of the villains has finally came, huh?" As Izuku said, "The hero of the villains?" As immediately Toga jumping in front of Izuku and said, "Yeah, Izuku, you done a lots of great work out there. You bam, 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 like destroyed the buildings and, people were screaming like, oh no, he coming to us." And as Izuku said, "What the fuck are you talking about?" As after that, Mustard coming closer into Izuku and said, "Yo, you are the air demon?" As Izuku said, "The air demon? What a stupid name is that?" As after that, immediately Mustard said, "Isn't that your name? I thought that it was your name. Sorry, this name is what the people call you by." As Izuku said, "The air demon? What a fucking stupid name." As after that, immediately Shigaraki said, "Then, what is your name?" As Izuku said, "Just call me Izuku or Midoriya." As after that, immediately Mustard said, "Well, it's not as intimidating as I thought it would be, but either way, you're really so cool. I mean, what's your powers? How can you possibly do such a great damage on your own?" As after that, immediately Muscular looking down on Izuku and said, "Well, I have to admit that you've done a great job out there. Even me didn't manage to kill as much as people out there like you. We need to fight at some point in time, kid." As after that, Izuku said, "I'm not caring for any fights with you, trash bag. Now leave me, I want to go." As after that, immediately Muscular said, "Who are you calling us?" But before he managed to continue, Izuku immediately turning into him and throwing an air punch into the guts of course, Muscular, as he immediately making a hole inside his body and Muscular body just fall into the ground. As after that, they only see Izuku with his right hand filled with blood, and Izuku said, "I doesn't want anyone to talk with me." As after that, Shigaraki said, "You seem quite more aggressive than before. Is there something that happened to you?" As Izuku said, "Just leave me alone." And after that, Izuku just get out of the bar. As after that, immediately Mustard said, "Well, that was intimidating. Did he just kill that muscular guy?" As after that, Toga said, "Ooh, blood." As she just taken some blood, and after that, immediately, of course, Shigaraki said, "Karagari, would you please?" As Karagari said, "Right away." Shigaraki, as he just teleporting the dead body of Muscular into somewhere else. By this time, Izuku has gone out of the hideout, of course, and start walking down the street until he finally got into the abandoned warehouse of course, Stain, his old friend. As immediately Izuku come inside the place and said, "Hey Stain, I'm home." As Stain immediately throwing a knife into Izuku dodging this attack and said, "What the hell?" As Stain said, "Do you know what have you done, you monster?" As Izuku said, "What have I done?" As Stain said, "Don't act stupid with me. You done all of that. You are the one that killed all of those people." And Izuku said, "So what? I killed them all. So what are you gonna do about it?" As Stain said, "You killed all those people. Women's and children's and men's. If all those people are blood on your hand, all of them have seen their death because of you. And why did you do that, Izuku?" As Izuku said, "I wasn't controlling myself." As Stain said, "You wasn't controlling yourself? That is your excuse? You wasn't in control? You idiot." As Izuku said, "You calling me an idiot? You are the one that killing people too. Don't act like you are you are not better than me. We are Both of us are in the same boat. Both of us are killers. As after that, Stain said, I only kill fake heroes. I don't kill children that are inside the hands of their mothers, begging for their lives to you before you kill them, you monster. As after that, Izuku said, whatever. You know what? Why am I talking with you? I doesn't want to be with you anyway. As Stain said, well, if you really doesn't want to be with me anymore, how about you just leave and get out of here? As Izuku said, fine, I'm better on myself. I'm a lot better on myself alone. Just look what have I done. All this destruction is by me. I am the one that did all of this. This power is all mine, and I can do whatever I want. Whatever. As after that, Stain said, Izuku. As Izuku said, what do you want? As Stain said, take this before you leave. I doesn't want any of your filthy shit to be inside my hideout. As after that, he just throwing into Izuku's back. And Izuku said, whatever. I wish that I will never gonna see you again, Stain. As after that, Stain said, the feeling is simple. Don't show your face to me again, or I'm gonna kill you next time. As Izuku said, whatever. As he just closed the door behind of him and leave the place. And once Izuku closing the door, he just looking down and start tearing up a little bit. As Izuku said, stop crying, you idiot. Stop crying. I need to find whoever that one that killed my family. As after that, Izuku start walking, but he can only hear the words inside his head. You are the one that killed all those women and children and men. You are the one that killed all these children. They were begging for their lives inside their mother's arms for you to leave them. But you didn't leave them. You killed them and you took their lives. All their blood is on your hand. As Izuku only hearing those words repeating inside his head, and he only thinking about his target. He only thinking to find the one that killed his mother and father. To be honest with you, does he even care about this anymore? All this destruction, all this blood, all this massacre, and for what? For one person. The one person that killed his family. At least that's what he's thinking about. As right now Izuku was walking the whole day, just walking and walking, thinking to himself in the street, until he finally got into the city of course, what was the name of the city? He got into, one of the cities, as he just walking until he finally suddenly bumps into someone. As after that, Izuku looking in front of him, he only see like a blonde-haired kid with the red eyes. As Izuku looking in front of him, Bakugo said, get away from my face, asshole. As Izuku looking into Bakugo, and Izuku said, Bakugo? As Bakugo suddenly stopped and said, wait, is that? As he looking back, he only see Izuku taking his hoodie off of his head, and Izuku just looking into the eyes of Bakugo, while Bakugo looking at him. And right now he's in his, of course, hero outfit. As Bakugo said, Deku? As Izuku said, Bakugo, what are you doing here? As Bakugo said, what the fuck are you doing here? Where were you? As after that, immediately Bakugo looking into Izuku as he remembered the news, as he said, wait, you are the one that did all of that? As after that, Izuku just looking down and he said, leave me alone. I doesn't want to see you anymore. As after that, Bakugo said, do you really think that I'm just gonna leave you that easily, you brat? As he thrown an explosion into Izuku, but Izuku dodging this attack and immediately got hold of Bakugo's arm as he just broke it. As after that, Izuku said, don't fight me, I'm not in the mood. As after that, Bakugo said, you monster, why have you done all of that? Why you done all of that? As after that, Izuku said, shut up. As he immediately just breaking the arm of Bakugo and throwing an air gust into his head, knocking him off. After that, Izuku starts hearing a sound saying, hey, Bakugo, Katsuki, where are you? As Izuku looking behind, he only see Best Genius. As Best Genius seeing Izuku immediately throwing an air, cannon into the ground, by destroying the street a little bit, giving him enough time to be able to start running away. as best Genus tried to go after Izuku, but he already have disappeared. No one managed to go after him, he's so fast. As Izuku got into one of the alleyways, as he said, damn it, all of them are right now around of me. They just following me. What should I do now? As after that, Izuku started thinking to himself a little bit, but why would he even continue doing whatever he's doing right now? Izuku just decided to sit into the ground and just to cry, as Izuku started tearing up a lot. Not a little bit, just crying as Izuku said, what have I done? What have I done? All these people have died because of me. I am the reason for all of that. How can I live with myself anymore? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this anymore? Damn it. All this blood and all this destruction, all of that. It's all because of me. And why? Because someone have killed my family. And I was just running like an idiot. Idiot. I am such an idiot. Idiot. Son of an idiot. Son of a bitch. Damn it. What should I do right now? What should I do? I can't go back. I can't go forward. I can't do anything. I'm just a monster. I'm just a fucking monster. As after that, Izuku looking down into his hands and just crying. As in the end he stopped crying and looking into his bag as he just taken a comic book. As Izuku reading on it, he said, the story of Captain Hero against the Demon Lord. As Izuku opening the comic up and he starts reading the story, seeing how the Captain Hero is such a great hero that helping everyone in front of him, saving anyone that he could possibly save, and always making sure to put a smile on his face, while the Demon Lord is just fighting him to destroy anything in front of him, to kill everyone in front of him, to destroy anything in front of him. And in the end, Izuku read the story from the start until the one last page before the final. As Izuku reading inside of it, he see the Captain Hero saying to the Demon Lord, "This is the end, Demon Lord. Now, your ruthlessness and your evil power shall perish from this land. I'll make sure that those people will be able to sleep in peace, knowing that they are safe from your wrath." As after that, Demon Lord said, "Well, we will see about that, Captain Hero. When I'm done with you, no one will be ever able to rest in peace." As after that, both of them jumping on each other, and the page ended, and Izuku having one last page. As Izuku just looking and said, "Alright, I think it's time for me to just read it." As Izuku flipping the page into the last page, but he doesn't find the page, he only find a paper. As Izuku said, "A paper? Where is the ending?" As he taken the paper out and he reading inside the paper, "From Hisashi Midoriya." As Izuku said, "Wait, is this a letter from my father?" As Izuku opening the letter, and after that he starts reading it inside of it, as he said, "Izuku, my boy, if you're reading this, that you have, you couldn't hold yourself to know the final part of the story of Captain Hero. I'm sure of that. Just let me tell you this, there was never an ending for the story. I want you to make your own ending. Never stop in your way, always continue. And the path that you have chosen, even if it's not the best path that you ever chose, I'll always be there to help you, even if I'm not there for you. I'll always be by your side. Don't give up, my boy. I know that you can do something greater, something even bigger than you could ever imagine. Now please, just don't cry anymore, and always keep a smile on your face. I will be always there for you, Izuku." As Izuku started tearing up, and after that he just crushed the paper inside his hand and said, "Damn it, that asshole, that person that killed my family. I'm gonna make sure that he will pay. But I'll need a computer." As after that, Izuku looking into the memory card and said, or the USB, and said, and I think I know where to find that computer. As after that, he just taken his bag and putting the comic back into his bag. As he start walking until he finally got into, an internet coffee shop or something like that. As he got inside and sit on the computer and putting the USB inside of it, as he start hearing seeing the information inside the USB, he see that there are some people has attacked his house, 3 villains, one with horns, someone with the ability to turn into metal, and another with tentacles, and having a lot of information. As Izuku said, this is the information, this information is all the information of the police. But how did Grin manage to get all of them? As after that, Izuku start, flipping the pages until he got into one part. As Izuku said, a power similar to All for One? What is this? Who's All for One? As after that, Izuku start looking deeper and deeper and reading some information of heroes, information of All Might, a fight between him and a villain that named All for One, having the same quirk of Izuku. As Izuku said, wait, having the same quirk of me? A guy with a white hair and red eyes? Wait a minute. Is Dad still alive? Or this is just some sort of a joke? It can't be. My father is dead. And also, this information was from like 200 years ago. It's impossible for my father to live that long. It must be fake. Whatever. This information must be fake, or the police must be so idiots that they decided to just go on information that has gone from about, 200 years or something like that. And I thought that I was gonna find something useful. As after that, Izuku just taken the USB and put it back in his pocket, as he just leave the coffee shop. After that, a couple of minutes goes by, Izuku going in somewhere to eat some food and things like that, and in the end he find himself a hideout, a place to stay in, and he just got inside and sleep for the night. And the next day, Izuku decided to go into the street and to get some information from the black market, and to just see some people. As after that, Izuku got into one of the places that Grin of course told him about, a place that a lot of villains being there, and they're always having some sort of events. As Izuku got inside, of course having his hoodie jacket on his head. After that, he sees, a lot of villains just surrounding one cage, and 2 people just fighting inside. As after that, one, of course, President Mike Villain Edition said, well, for the next fight, it will be, as he just saying the name of the fighters, and said, and remember, there is a prize for the winner. If you want to fight or to get into the fights right now, you can do that. Just put your name and we will gonna make sure that you will gonna have such a strong fight. But keep in your mind that you might die, friend. But either way, I hope that all of you will gonna have a wonderful night. As after that, Izuku said, maybe I can, train myself a little bit and moving my muscles. As Izuku go into the guy that taken the names, and the guy said, what are you doing here, kid? As Izuku said, I'm here to, to join the fight. As the guy said, and who are you exactly? Are you some sort of a, a famous villain or something like that? Or are you just some sort of a brat that's, running in the street? As Izuku taken his hoodie down and said, I think that you already know my name. As after that, the guy looking into Izuku and he said, wait, you are the air demon. As everyone's suddenly getting quiet and they looking back, they only see a white-haired kid with a, red eyes, wearing a black hoodie jacket. As all of them, they start, muttering to themselves saying, wait, this is the air demon? The one that did all of that destruction in the city? As all of them start, to scream in his name and just, saying to let him go and fight there. As the Izuku said, alright, are you gonna just let me join the fight or something? As the guy said, sure, of course, I'm gonna let you do that. I want to, can I have your autograph? As Izuku said, my autograph? Are you serious? As after that, the guy said, please, it will be really an honor for me to have your autograph. As Izuku said, whatever. Just just put my name and give me a paper. As after that, the guy just did that, and Izuku putting his name inside there, of course, the list. After that, he gone into a bar and sit down, as he said, give me, but before he managed to continue, the guy just putting some sort of an expensive drink in front of Izuku, as the guy said, this is on us, and don't worry, it's not on, this is not an alcohol, this is just an orange juice, but you can say it's our special kind. After all what you have done in the city and the inspiration that you give to lots of our villains and the people that coming into this place just to fight because of you, I think you deserve it. As Izuku said, whatever. As after that he started drinking, and in the end they finally said his name, and Izuku got inside the ring. As Izuku said, tell me, who will be the victim of this fight? As of course, suddenly Izuku hearing a sound said, well, looks like I'll be the victim of you. As immediately Izuku looking in front of him, he only see a giant guy with a black mask on his face, wearing a white t-shirt. As Izuku said, and who are you? As the guy said, my name is Rappa. And you are the air demon, huh? Kid, you're really so powerful, and it will be really an honor to fight you. So, please show me strong fight from you. We will gonna fight until death, understand? As Izuku said, whatever, I'll just make sure that this thing will gonna end fast and easily. I'll make sure that you will not gonna feel any pain. As Rappa started laughing very wildly and said, oh, you are the best. Now, don't hold back on me. As after that, Present Mike Villain Edition said, 3, 2, 1, get right into it. And this is gonna leave it off, guys. Don't forget, like, subscribe, comment down below, tell me what you think about this part, and what do you think will gonna happen in the next part. Well, I have nothing more to say than Savage was here.